So, um, it is December 31st and New Year's Eve. And I just wanted to record something that I did on Christmas Day. Um, I didn't get together with family on Christmas Day because we had get-togethers before Christmas Day, and then we had one planned after. So, so Christmas Day, also I had to work the next day and whatever. So it was just a nice quiet day at home, and I'm an introvert and I love having time to myself. So anyway, um two of the previous videos I made were about full moon revelations, um showing me things that needed to be dealt with. And um and the answer, like, so in one video I talk about how, oh my gosh, I realize I have to deal with this stuff. That's why it's coming up. And then and in the next video I talk about, oh my gosh, I asked, you know, hey, show me how to deal with this stuff. And the answer came to me, like in these videos I watched and stuff. The answer came to me. But then I did what I did, as a letting go ceremony for these certain things, was a water ceremony or a water ritual. And it's just symbolic. That's all. It's not some hocus pocus kind of stuff. It's just symbolically. When we do things symbolically, it makes it click in our heads and in our hearts. And that click makes things right somehow, you know? It's a spiritual thing, and you don't have to be a rooty tooty la la spiritual person. You are a friggin' spiritual person, even if you don't feel like you are. Spiritual, also, is not the same as religious, so don't confuse the two. But anyway, I wanted to share. So I did the water ritual, and then I was like, I feel like I missed a step, because what I have learned in my healing journey is you have to feel the feelings and sort them out, process that stuff, deal with that stuff, sort it out, get it settled within you so that then you really can let it go. Okay, I'm done carrying this shit around. Bye-bye. It's over. So I kind of felt like, oh, did I just put the cart before the horse? I think I did. And I'm not sure. I felt kind of like, ooh, was I being sneaky? Like, without thinking about it, was, there, because sometimes we do. Sometimes we do things, and we self-sabotage, and we don't even, like, it's almost an unconscious thing. Like, yeah, it's just like an automatic self-defense or something. So anyway, I got thinking about that, and I was like, yeah, I'm really going to have to deal with this stuff. So I made a list. I've been on the healing journey, my healing journey, since 2012. And along the way, I learned a process that helps me feel the feelings and work through them, deal with them so that I can heal. It's worked for me every time I've used it. And I can, for those who are interested in like a PDF download, you can leave me a comment and ask for that. And I will, yeah, I'll connect with you and make that happen. So anyway, what I want to do is just read the list of that helped me process the stuff. So the first question on the list is, what still hurts? So, and actually, if you're watching this, you can write these things down. Part of why I'm not just printing this out and saying, hey, if you want to know how I do this, tag me and I'll send you this PDF, so you can download it. It's important to watch the video because it is a process, and sometimes you can get stuck in the process. And so that's part of why I'm doing a video. Also, because I made two other videos about how, I had these full moon revelations and what happened, and then I wanted, this is my follow-up. This is my follow-up to those that explains the process for feeling your feelings and dealing with them so that you can heal and let go and fly free of it. Now, I will say this, healing is not a straight shot. You don't go from A to Z and you're like, woo, I'm healed and I'll never deal with that again. No, you work in layers. So just like your body, if you've got a cut on your hand or something, your body will immediately work to seal that cut, to keep infection, to keep debris and whatever yucky stuff out. Immediately your body's working on that. And then the healing, it goes down, down deeper, down deeper, down deeper. But the first thing is, let's seal that opening. So, our I guess emotional, mental, spiritual healing also happens that way, where you don't just, it's not just like the flip of a switch. Okay, I did the thing, and that, you heal in layers at a time. And you can't be in a rush. You just got to go with it. And it might be frustrating to hear that, but here's the big takeaway. The healing isn't just about the healing happening. It's about you learning to love and care for yourself properly. Patient, kind, gentle, tender, compassionate, understanding. For those of us who did not grow up naturally feeling that way about ourselves, or being taught to feel that way about ourselves, it can be a real struggle to learn. But also it's worth it. I'm so much more at peace with myself, and I'm so much more comfortable in my own skin because I have made the effort. Our relationship with ourselves is like our relationships with everybody else. If you have a lousy relationship with you, chances are you're probably not that great at relationships with other people either. And probably you feel disappointed in how other people treat you as well, because you're not even living true to yourself. So you're not giving good information to others about how they should be treating you. See what I'm saying? Maybe not. But anyway, so the list that I made, if you want to write these things down, you can. So I asked myself, what still hurts now? And then I made a bullet point list, because this is not the part where we're going to get into all the thoughts and feelings about it. We're just listing what still hurts. So, and I had 4 different things that came up as I didn't, here's the thing, you shouldn't have to sit and think hard about this, okay? You don't want to force your healing or try to force yourself to do a thing. But also it needs to be done. Just like washing dishes or doing the laundry. You can put it off. That's okay. But here's what I did. Okay. This is what I do. Make a date with yourself. I actually told myself, okay, I made this list, and on Christmas Day, because it's an extra day in the week that I have off, I'm going to be home by myself, all snuggled and enjoying, the day the way I want to. And so first thing first, on that day, I'm going to work on this list. I'm making a date with myself. I'm going to light a candle if I want to. I'm going to get snuggly pillows around me and a blanket, turn on the fireplace, whatever I want, have background music, what you make yourself comfortable for healing, for taking time to sort through this stuff. First thing first, set the scene. Make a date with yourself. I don't want to deal with this today. I got too many things. I'm too tired, whatever. Okay, well, make a date. Make a date. And don't make excuses to yourself. That's called gaslighting. Well, I can't make a date. I hate to plan ahead. No excuses. Make a date when you know you're free and keep it. Take the time because you're worth it. And this is the only way to really heal, and the healing goes at layers at a time. But if you don't start working on some of those layers, what do you think's going to happen? Infection, funkiness, bitterness, stagnation, meaning you get stunk or you get stunk. You get stuck with all the funk that's in here and in here. And then you get grumpy and you get crotchety and you get bad attitudes. And it's not good. It's not good. You get very stuck. And we don't want that for you because you're meant to fly free. You're meant to fly free of all the stuff that has hurt us. We have the power to use that to launch us farther than we've ever been. Just like when you're jumping on a trampoline, the harder you jump, you push the trampoline down. The farther you push the trampoline down, the farther it's going to throw you in the air. So, if things have happened to you that have knocked you down and you feel like, oh my God, I'm never getting up from this. You can. So anyway, so what still hurts right now? Just bullet point. The situation with so-and-so, they said the thing, I'm still upset. Whatever it is, the religious trauma that I have, that actually is something that's on my list. So, okay. Now the next question is, who's to blame for this? Now in the blame section, you're going to want to give yourself time and plenty of space in your notebook to say everything you want to say. Who's to blame for this? So this isn't a bullet point thing. This person is to blame for this, or these people. And, this is what they did. This is how they made me feel. Say all your accusations, blame them for all this. And this is why I still struggle with this. This is why when these things happen, I'm still triggered, and just whatever, say it all. So, and if you want to cuss them out, if you want to scream and kick, here's what I would recommend. First of all, this process of feeling and dealing with these hurts and these emotions needs to be done just with you and your notebook. The only other option would be with somebody who is a safe place for your heart. They're capable of listening and helping you by asking questions, not telling you how to feel, but asking good questions, and then just holding gentle space for you to feel what you feel and help you move through it. But not mostly, I'm telling you, this can be done with you in your journal. A good counselor is great. A good life coach is great. A good therapist is great. But you still, at the end of the day, you still have to do the heavy lifting because this is your wound. So nobody knows where the bottom of it is, you know? Nobody knows like you know what's going on with you. So this is, again, it's a lesson of learning about yourself. And learning to listen to yourself and learning to respect and honor yourself. When you reach a point where you're like, I can't, I'm exhausted from what I've done so far. Okay, well then it's time for a break. But you need to plan to wrap it up. Okay. For one thing, you definitely don't want to stop when you're in the blame zone. When you play the blame game, that's not where you pitch your tent. That's not a place to stop. That's a place to pass through. So first, what still hurts right now? Bullet point. Who's to blame for this? In this section, say it all. You know, if you list 3 things that still hurt right now, you might want to do number 1, number 2, number 3. And then in the blame section, you do number 1 that corresponds with the previous number 1. So anyway, the third question is, how is justice to be served? Okay. So when you're blaming, you're like, they did this, they said that, and this hurt me, and now I'm triggered, and now I this, and da-da-da-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And you might say, you might call them names. You might feel within you such a anger that you just feel like I want to kick or hit something. Good. Okay, you should be doing this by yourself, okay? In a space where you're not going to be interrupted or bothered or yelled at, hey, keep it down, blah, blah, blah. So, make sure you have a pillow on hand. Or there have been times that I drew a stick figure on a piece of paper because it's what came to me. It's what I was like, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to draw this person's stick figure on a piece of paper, write their name, and then I want to take a thick black marker and just cross them out, scribble all over them till I can't see them anymore. Because that's how angry I am at them. And say all the things as I'm doing that, saying, you never should have this, you never should have that. Whatever it is, the whole point is to process, vomit the stuff out. When you're sick, you need to get the stuff out of your system. Nobody likes to vomit, but it has to come out because there's, there are toxins. There are things in there in your body that your body's like, we got to get this out of here. This is bad. So you got to go with it. And it's the same in this kind of thing. And so, but I've done that. I've taken a piece of paper, drew a stick figure, wrote the person's name on it, took a black marker, did all the things. I even wrote accusations. You're a this, you're a that, blah, 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 blah. And then when I was done, when I felt like, I got nothing more to say to you. Then I felt like I was supposed to put there, I wanted to. I felt like I wanted to put that stick figure picture on the floor and I wanted to destroy it with my feet, like stomp all over it and tear it apart with my feet. Completely unrecognizable stick figure now. Now, you might think, wow, that's really weird. Well, you know what? No one was injured. And I felt a heck of a lot better. It helped me get all the gunk out of my system, clear the air. I've now said everything I have to say about this person and what they did to me. For now, you know what I mean? Because healing comes in layers at a time. So that's one of the things I've done in the past. And I'll tell you this, what I have found is that healing, your healing process, now you'll ask these same questions, but the way you are inspired to move through, like I said, you could do the stick figure thing yourself. You're like, oh, that's a good idea. I do feel that way. Or you might have a pillow that you just beat the tar out of. You punch it with your fist. You kick it across the room. You could kick it to pieces if you want. You could get scissors and just stab it and rip it to just get it out. Get it out of your system. Do what you got to do. You might feel like breaking plates, go buy some cheap glass plates from the Dollar Tree or whatever and go. The thing is, this is for you and the universe alone. This is not something you involve the people that you're angry with. Oh, no, no, no. This is not the time to talk to them. No. We're trying to heal ourselves. That's between us and, God or universe, source energy, great spirit, your spirit team, whatever. Some people, they believe in spirit animals. So maybe it's a spirit animal that you just feel really connected with. Whatever. This is a private matter is the point. This isn't you're going to show up at that person's house and set them straight. No, no. First of all, you don't have the power to set anybody else straight. Secondly, you only have power over yourself, and this process is all about healing you and getting you to the point where you can let go of your junk and heal another layer and fly free of more of that weight that's been holding you back. Okay, so now how is justice to be served? That's the third one. So how is justice to be served? Blah. So these are just ideas. So, this is kind of a silly thing. But, oh, how is justice to be served? Well, I hope that the fleas of 1,000 camels infest their crotch and their armpits and crawl up their nose as well. So they can't even breathe and they just end up choking. Again, this is part of just get it out of your system. Get all this, just get it out of your system. How is justice to be served? Well, you got to remember that people are people just like you are people. And we all have our moments. And you might sit there and be like, I would never do what they did to me. I would never do that to another person. Well, you know what? They're not you, are they? So you got to burst that bubble right there. They're not you. And it's wrong for you or me or anybody to expect another person to act the way we would. And we're not always as honest and filled with integrity as we think we are. So in this section of the process, how is justice to be served? I like to remind myself that I want grace, I want understanding, and I want compassion, especially when I have messed up big time. Especially then. I'm not saying, and here's the thing. The bottom line is, this is your healing process. It isn't about you addressing that person and setting them straight. Although you may have encounters with them in the future where you want to strategize, how am I going to handle this? Because I'm not putting up with their nonsense anymore. Okay, well, that's a strategy session that needs to happen to plan for that. But right now, this is about your healing. And you're not the judge, jury, and whatever, This would be a good point at which to say, God or eagle spirit or whatever it is you believe in, to say, I turn this person over to you. And you could wad up a piece of paper, just any piece of paper. Could be tissue paper, it could be toilet paper for that matter, could be anything. And you could say, I'm turning this person, I'm letting go. I'm giving you this person. I'm trusting that you're going to set things right. because I don't know everything. And I don't have the power to change that person and make them do what I think they should do. I'll tell you what, there have been people that have been mad at me, and I'm very grateful that they didn't have the power to change me and make me behave a certain way. Gee, money, Christmas, are you kidding me? You know, we have our perspective, and what's happened to us is real, and what we feel about it is real. And we need to feel it and process it and deal with it. At the same time, we have to understand and accept and remember what the kind of energy you put out into the world is coming back at you. This is why I don't want to say, well, if justice was to be served, that person would, you know, and then me pass all my judgments. This is the point in the process for you to say what you feel. Absolutely. But what I'm saying is, I think it's important to remember that we're all human. We're all capable of screwing up. And I know that some of the trauma that I have healed from, I was married to a narcissist for 23 years. I have complex PTSD from that. Okay. So it's been quite a healing journey for me, let me tell you. And I don't have power to change him, but I have power to change my life. And I want my life to be filled with love, peace, and joy that cannot be shaken or taken from me. And I have achieved that. Okay? It's not through another person. It's me. Me and God, the universe, whatever. Okay? So, and the key to it is me loving myself, showing myself respect, honoring what my system is telling me, honoring what my body says. You know, when my body gets tensed up about, triggered by something, you know, then I'm like, oh, okay, I was just triggered by that. Why was I triggered? What do I need to do to take care of myself? Okay. There's nobody coming to take care of me, and there's nobody coming to take care of you either. That is your job. This is your one wild and precious gift, your life. It is your honor and privilege to explore that, to have the adventure of a lifetime, to get to know yourself, and to learn to take excellent care of yourself. And when you do that, you become a better human being, and you show other people the way to love and care for themselves, so they're not putting all these unreasonable expectations on everybody around them. And you show them how to fly free and live happily, more peacefully, more freely, without depending on somebody else to make that happen. You know, you don't want to give that kind of power to other people. No, no, no. That's no. So anyway, the justice part. Okay, I kind of put this in. So you know, I mentioned that I had religious trauma on my list. And so for this justice part, what am I going to do? Call all of Christianity, Western Christianity on the carpet? I don't think so. That sounds like a lot of work and a lot of energy that I don't have to give to them, to that cause. But I worked, you know, I said what I had to say about it. I journaled it. Okay. So the next question, what is the truth about these people? Well, the truth is they're people just like me, and they're doing the best they know how. And you might think, okay, well, is that what you said about your narcissistic ex? Yeah. And it's not like, wow, you're maybe being too Candyland super nice. I am not nice. I'm not. I gave that up a long time ago because it's stupid and I'm not stupid. I am kind. I am wise. That's the path I try to walk in. Okay. So what's the truth about these people? They're doing the best they can do. And sometimes other people's best really sucks. Sometimes my best really sucks. And it doesn't quite meet up to maybe other people's expectations. Sometimes my best doesn't meet up to my expectation. Okay? So the truth is, it's rough being human, and some of us just are where we are. You know, I have come to this is how I look at it regarding my ex, and the fact that he has a narcissistic, he has a mental issue. Okay. That's a terrible, I feel like his hell or his punishment, the justice be served, his punishment is that he has this mental issue. He's never happy. I can tell you, I lived with him for 23 years. Nothing ever really made him happy. He had happy moments. He had moments where he was loving and kind or nice. But there were always strings attached, and there was always going to be a punishment. So this, so the truth about him, he's jacked up, and there's nothing I could do to fix that. It's not my job to fix it. It's not anybody else's job. It's his job because it's his one wild and precious life, his gift. And it's his job to go, oh my God, I hate this. Is there anything I can do to change my life? Geez, this sucks. It's up to him. It's not my business. So anyway, how is carrying around the anger and the pain helping me? That's the next question. And it might sound like a no-brainer, but really to answer it, how is carrying the anger and pain around helping me? Because you know what? Sometimes I've held on to things because I was so angry at somebody. And then I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm the only one being punished. It's my heart that's heavy. It's my heart that hurts. My body is suffering physically because I'm so angry at this person. They have no clue. And you know what? It wouldn't do any good if they did know. They don't care. That's why it happened. Okay, so I'm going to just breeze through the rest of this. Next question is it time for mercy and grace? And then the following question is, who's first in line for mercy and grace? Me. Put me in line. It's time for me to come to a place of rest. It's time for me to lay down this heavy burden that's not really mine to carry. I already suffered the whatever it was. I shouldn't continue to suffer by carrying all that pain around. It's time. It's come up, it has surfaced either through a trigger or something. It has surfaced. It's come up in my face again to say, hey, this is hurting. Can you fix it? Yes, I actually can fix that. If I take the time to work through the list of questions, yes, I can. So is it time for mercy and grace? Heck to the yes, it is. Who's first in line? Me. I'm first in line. And then at this point, you might want to write some loving and kind things to yourself. Like, you know what? It's time to let go of this thing. It's time to let go of that. And instead, let's go for some peace. Let's go for who cares what happens to them. That's between them and God or, whatever. The moon. The only thing, this is key to your healing for you to know. The only thing you have any power over is you. You do not call the shots over other people. And you better be really grateful for that. I am. I don't want other people calling the shots in my life. No, thank you. No, never again. I gave somebody way too much power. I've given a few, more people than I like to admit. I've given more people than I like to admit power over me. That, no, not doing that anymore. Okay, so the next question is, are there any other actions or rituals to be taken or performed to help the forgiving and letting go and releasing of the funky energy? So here are some examples of the kinds of things you could do if you feel led to do them or drawn to. You know, I might read something and you think, ooh, that sounds like the thing I want to try for, when I go through this process. So you could do yoga. Yoga with Adriene on YouTube. She has yoga for trauma, yoga for getting grounded or centered, yoga for dealing with anger, yoga. She has yoga for everything. Just, search it on YouTube. Yoga with Adriene. It's pretty great. You could do art therapy. And by art, I'm not talking about try to be Rembrandt or Picasso. I'm talking about the stick figure and the markers. And that's what I'm talking about. Or it could be doodles. You might just sit down and doodle. You're like, the words aren't coming, but I feel like I just want to doodle for a while. Okay, do it. Do what comes to you. Trust your intuition. That's what you got it for. Water. So in one of my full moon revelation videos, I talked about the water ritual. The water washing, take the water, listening to my words, listening to what I had to say about these things. And then as I pulled the plug, in the bathtub, as the water drained away, it was taking away all that stuff. I did feel better after I did that, but I just thought, I had a list of several things. And I was like, I don't know if that was enough for all of those things. Some of those things maybe, but not all of them. Okay, so you could do a fire. You could write, you could take the very piece of paper that you did the blaming, and maybe when you were blaming, you were cussing them out and you were saying, I hope that, a tree falls on their house, and I don't know. You may have said many awful things. Well, to wrap it up, you might feel like, you know what? I want to take that and I want to burn it. And as I'm burning it, I'm saying, we are done. We are all done. We are all done. No more of this. No more of you in my life. No more of you messing with me. No. We're good. That is your real revenge, If there's any thought of revenge, the real revenge is you taking your power back and taking your life back and loving yourself the way you need to be loved, listening to yourself, and honoring yourself. That is the best thing you can do. Okay, it might be music and dance. You might feel like, I need to turn on some music now. And the songs come to mind, I've got all kinds of things that it just depends on the situation. But you might turn on a certain song and be like, yes, this is the one that says it all. And then you dance. And as you're dancing, maybe, picture yourself as dancing on their head or dancing on their grave or whatever. In defiance of what they did to you. And saying, no more. You're not wiping your muddy boots on me anymore. That's going to be a big no. Going out and in nature and just, go lean against a tree and tell the tree whatever, or just soak up the energy of the trees. You could go for a walk. Go for a walk in the sunshine. Sunshine can be very refreshing, healing. Just fresh air, just a 5 or 10 minutes of walking in fresh air can be very helpful in the releasing and letting go process. Okay, that's where we're at in this list. Now for me, when I did this, I felt like I was supposed to write their names on my hand. The people that So I was supposed to write their names on my hand, and then I was supposed to hold my hand under the water at the kitchen sink and let the water wash their names away. And as I did that, I named each one of them, and I took my other hand and started rubbing, and I said, I lovingly release you to live your life your way, and I'm letting go of all the stuff, all the stuff between us. It's going to be no more. And I broke down, like I did some pretty serious crying for a minute or two, and that's all it takes. Couple minutes, of letting yourself really break and get that out. Well, those tears release chemicals that need to get out of your body. They need to get out. So let them come. Let them come, because they're cleansing in more ways than one. So then there's another question. How do you feel now? You need to answer that one. Is there anything that still hurts? Okay, check in with your body. You can do this. You can do a kinesthetic question and answer, a yes or no. Like my left side of my body is a no, right side of my body is a yes, and then just stand up, relaxed posture, and ask your body, okay, is there anything that still hurts? Yes or no? Remember, right side is yes. So you might feel just a tiny little twitch in your right ring finger or something, or your wrist might suddenly, there might be just this little pinprick of a pain or something. That was a yes. Okay. So that's a thing you can do to, really be on top of what's going on. So I wrote down, and this is what happened. I felt better after I did the water ritual thing of writing their names on my hand and whatever. But I noticed that my heart or my chest, I started having a panic attack, because it was, and you can do that when you're releasing emotion. Sometimes you can have panic attack because of that. So I just did for myself what I needed to do. I journaled about it, but I also, I have a roll-on CBD oil that helps calm anxiety. So I used that. And then the last thing I wrote on my list was, this is your one wild and precious life, and it's a brave and beautiful way to love yourself, doing the necessary healing work like this. Hug and celebrate you now. So that, even though I ended up, I did all the things, I did feel when I did the water thing and cried, after I cried, I felt huge relief. Like it was one of those things where I felt lighter, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize that I felt heavy before. It was that kind of feeling. And yet I still had that panic attack, that tightness in my chest where I was like, I feel like I can't breathe or catch my breath. And I just needed to support my body in that, because it was reacting to the release of the emotions. It was intense. It was really intense. And then at that point, I was exhausted. So what I would do if I had felt like, yes, there is more that I need to heal or more that I need to process, I would make a note of that. And then I would leave it for that day, because at that point, like I said, I felt really exhausted. I had like wrung myself out physically is how I felt. So, plus it was Christmas Day, and I wanted it to be a relaxing, enjoyable day. That's why I did this first thing in the morning when I was having coffee and, breakfast and whatever. So, but I would definitely follow up. And it might be a thing where you're like, I want to follow up, but I don't want to put this off too long. Okay. Fair enough. I feel it, But also listen to your body and your system because the emotional toll can really knock it out of you physically. So just what I'm saying is listen to your whole system and make sure that you're ready, that you feel well rested before you start another processing and feeling yeah. Sorry. All the words are gone. All the words. So, yeah. So this is my follow-up. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions about any of this, please, comment below. And yeah, I will respond. I'm happy to help you with it. If any of this is confusing or you think, I don't think this is you want to talk about it and whatever, just comment below and I'll get in touch with you and I'll see what I can do to help. But anyway, this is just a follow-up to the full moon revelation videos that I did. And like I said, this is a process I have used over and over again for many years, and it always works for me. And it doesn't always play out the same way because like I told you, one time I did draw a stick figure and I did all the things, but this time I felt like I was supposed to write their names on my hand and let the water wash it away under the water. So that was really like, oh wow, So anyway, I hope this was helpful and I send you much love and I'll talk to you later. Bye.